So when you told me about
Oh yeah.
this one, I was like, man, like Brian,
Yeah.
like I want to put like this standard of like a refined taste in anime, and
Right.
you
And I'm
come up
just like,
you come up with this one, and it's like, man, everyone's gonna think that we're degenerates.
teacher.
I mean, we are, but
Oh yes, yeah. But yeah, this one, it's pretty out there.
trying to keep it PG appropriate and well,
Oh boy. Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Jobless Weebs, number 112. Woohoo! I'm Brian, and with me today is
Marco from Mexico.
Yep.
How are you, Brian?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, I had a pretty good week watching some anime. Dark Gathering is way crazy, man. I just gotta say, it's so wacky. And then mostly just reading some books. I was reading the Star Wars Darth Bane series again. Man, I love that series. It's so good. So good. Rule of Two and all that.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like there's a lot of Star Wars out there, and it's a lot about like Skywalkers and whatnot, and like the light side, like, oh, let's try to like rise up and help people. And it's like, okay, like, it feels great and all. But when you get into like Darth Bane and like read those books, it's like, this is it. This is the real deal.
Right.
Yeah. None of this like, oh, you gotta save people. No, this is like the dark side. Like, you gotta do everything for yourself, and like strength is power. Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
I kind of like a little better the dark side on the books. On the books and comics and other than the movie. I think that
Darth Vader sometimes are amazing.
Yeah, sometimes I think that's
so cool.
The dark side is a little better, or kind of like they try to keep it more real.
Yes, exactly. Like,
because the light side is like, oh yeah, we're doing this impossible thing, and we can just have this certain number of Jedis, and we have a lot of limitations.
Right.
And the dark side is like, heck, take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Like, go crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
love it.
But at the same time, I don't think that could be done on kind of like movies or like animated series or the series itself. Kind of like saying like, hey, you know what, the bad guys actually are doing pretty good.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. And they're like, Rufus bad guy. Yeah.
Because sure. I guess that's not the ideal scenario, right? Because you have sometimes some kids or the young audiences, and then they're like, hey, I want to be Darth Bane. It's like, no, sweetie, you don't.
Yeah, don't grow up to be like that. Yeah, totally agree. I think that's the reason.
There's also like the gray side, right?
Oh yes.
Or the Force.
The gray side. Yeah.
Yeah, I also kind of like the gray side.
Yeah.
It's kind of disappointed that they haven't shown it.
Yeah. It's
on any of the graphic media.
Right.
Or like movies or series. It's always like black or white.
Right. Or like all in type of stuff. Yeah. Gray. And it's a mystery. It's very little portrayed anywhere. It's cool, yeah.
Yeah, Star Wars is pretty good. You like some parts.
Oh yeah.
Like the series, a few series are like good. The other ones are like just want to take money.
Right. And they kind of miss the mark sometimes with certain stories and stuff. But yeah, there are some good ones out there. That's true.
Yeah. Oh boy. Talking about like some crazy stories. What we have for today though.
Oh yes.
Man,
Oh boy.
it's like this just proves what I've been saying for a lot of years. Once once I started getting kind of like more serious into anime, I was like, there's an anime for anything and everything that you can think about.
Oh yeah.
From like the most reasonable things or serious things to the most ridiculous things
and wackiest things out there.
Yeah, that you're like, I can't believe this has an anime.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Or even sometimes you hear someone talking about a random situation. It's like the most random thing ever, but you're like, oh, there's an anime for that.
Right?
Yeah.
Just like people say, like, hey, I have a meme for that. It's like, wait, I have an anime for that.
Yes. Yep. And oh boy, like you think like once you see a guy turning into girl because of the power of twin tails, or like but battling, or I don't know, just like the wackiest things out
high
there.
School girls on World War II tanks.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I've seen everything. But
we're here today to tell you that
we have
you haven't.
Yep.
We're presenting Food Battle, the anime.
Yep.
And when you think Food Battle, like, oh yeah, maybe grabbing the food and that, or kind of like Food Wars, where they would battle while cooking.
And you try to have like the best meal presented, or food fights in a cafeteria or something,
right?
But this one, the one we have today, they go all out for food. They're crazy.
Yeah, this is pretty much a battle royale.
Yep.
And the winner might as well get like a chicken soup.
Oh yes, might as well.
Like this is the PUBG anime that everyone has been wondering if it exists. It's like, wow, I wonder if PUBG would have an anime. Like it does actually.
It's like winner chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
In this case, it's not chicken dinner or limited to. Mm-hmm. So this anime is called Bento.
That's right.
And
Bento, as we know.
Man, it's so we all know all the bentos.
That's right. Like, it's like a pre-packaged lunch.
Yeah, the bento is actually the container.
That's right.
And it's a lunch or like breakfast, dinner for like whatever. But normally it would be like your lunch or dinner. Yeah. And there are places in Japan, like these convenience stores where they always have these box lunches there for the people. And that's the anime. Yeah. It's like people trying to get a bento from these convenience stores, but there's a catch.
There is a catch. So these bentos, I'm gonna guess they're like made daily type of thing. Usually with these bentos or this type of meal, they need to be fresh for sale, and so throughout the day, a lot of them get sold. But oftentimes, at the end of the day, there's some left over, unsold bentos, and so when you get to a certain time of day, they go on sale for half prices.
From there, you would say like, okay, yeah, it's just about cheap food.
Cheap food, right?
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
It's like okay,
but so there's someone that puts these stickers of like, half off on this bento, and our story starts with this dude. He's a first year in high school, and he's living by himself. And so he's hungry and he goes to get a bento and then he doesn't remember like what happens. Cause like it cuts to the next day and he's like,
it's like, what happened?
What just happened? I was hungry, I think.
And he's like coming out of the hospital, and all he has is, I'm not even sure what it was, but it was like some sort of snack where it's like,
Oh yeah, chikua, what it's called, right?
Oh yes, that's it.
Yeah, it's
chikua. Yeah,
it's some sort of paste, I think. Or
yeah,
yeah, it's some kind of like processed stuff. I would guess like the closest thing that we could know, probably like a sausage or something, kind of like jerky.
Okay,
Maybe.
Yeah,
something close to that.
But yeah, he's at a loss. He has no idea what happened, and he goes to school like with no clue at all, other than he was just obliterated. There's this random girl who comes up to him when he's walking to school, and she's like listing off all the things that he got. He like had 40 something contusions and like bruises or something, and then a bunch of other injuries, and he's just walking along. It's so random, but he has no idea who she is, and he just like goes throughout his day, kind of normal-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's this girl that he sees, and she basically tells him off, like, hey, don't go to the supermarket. Gives him no context whatsoever. So he's like really flabbergasted. No idea what's going on. He just goes back to the supermarket, and it gets to this certain time of day, and the bentos go off half price, and he starts rushing over there, but then mayhem ensues.
Yeah.
It goes crazy. He just gets knocked out.
Yeah, so there's this thing now that you're introduced after you're like, okay, he lost consciousness. I have no idea what's happening here. This show seems kind of meh.
Yeah.
But then, like, he's like, oh, there's some bentos in here. Oh, I remember, I was hungry yesterday. I don't know what happened, but sure, whatever. I'm going to go buy my bento. And yeah, when he's like, he just gets into dogfight.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's happening here? It's just a bento. It's like,
yeah,
there's no need for you to be like this.
Yep.
But there's this kind of like a group of people, not only limited to, high school students, but, they had a wide range of ages.
Yep.
And it's a fight club.
Basically. Yeah, it's literal fight club.
It's a fight club. There is
so crazy.
There is the person who puts the half off stickers. Yep. That person is called the God.
God of discounts.
Yeah, the God of discounts. And no one is allowed to, take the bentos. Like there's some unspoken rules, kind of like some sort of etiquette of like, yeah, you're not allowed to interfere when the God of discounts it's here.
Yep.
You can only go after them after the doors are closed. And after that, the good old 1 and 2 for everyone. It doesn't discriminate age, race, or gender.
Yeah, just gotta go for it. And whoever comes out on top gets to grab a bento.
And if you get to grab a bento, then you're out of the fight because you won.
That's right. Yeah.
And this is a cruel
dog world.
Yeah, this is a cruel dog world because like
it is.
The winners get their half of bentos.
Yep.
The losers get noodles or whatever
other instant food, just like the dregs, and because the bento's the holy grail. That's the cream of the crop. You got to get your bento. And I think it's hilarious that whenever, in these fights, it's like whoever is the hungriest or the most desperate does the best.
Right.
It's so silly. So yeah, it's just this all-out war, all-out battle, and this guy, he's just thrown into the mix with barely any knowledge, but he's like totally blown away by this world. And when he's fighting, he notices a lot of other people getting totally wrecked by this girl, and they call her the ice cold witch. And Matt, like, it's the camera angles in this anime,
right? Very suspicious.
Very sus. Yeah, it's a degenerate show. But yeah, this guy, he's just blown away by this girl, because yeah, she just wrecks everybody. She kicks people, she steps on people, and even the huge guy that was going up against her does not stand a chance against her. So she's basically top dog in this supermarket, in this brawl, and he literally can do nothing against it. This other girl, she also kind of like hangs around, but we kind of get more of a chance to find out a little bit more about them when he is back at school and kind of like introduced to the half pricers club.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets a little bit better of an introduction of like what the heck happens during the convenience store half price hours. Yeah. And it's so the people going for the half price bentos are called in general dogs.
Yeah.
And those who are kind of like more experienced or have made a name for themselves are called wolves.
Wolves. Yeah.
And sometimes as wolves, they can have a title.
Yeah. Kind of like a nickname.
Yeah.
Depending on their reputation.
Yeah. Also, kind of like describing something that they did, something remarkable of them.
Yeah.
Which, they do explain like the origin of a few of the titles, and it's like what is right. That is like. It seems that it was just a nickname to make fun of them, and it ended up sounding cool. So they were like, "I'll stick with that," like the Big Bro Mexican.
Gosh.
The first time someone called me a Big Bro Mexican.
Oh yeah,
they told me that as an insult, and I was like, you know what? I like the sound of that. I'm gonna keep it.
Right.
So probably something like that. I think. But yeah, he's introduced to this. Is Sato? What's the name of the glasses girl?
Oshiro.
Yeah, Oshiro.
Yeah.
So yeah, Oshiro was kind of like really close to Sato.
Yeah, she clings to him for no apparent reason.
Yeah, she's quite a character because throughout the anime, we learn that she's rotten.
Yes.
I wrote that like a term that a term that more experienced Weebs would know as someone who is into boys love
yeah. And
media.
Yes. And for her, she's not only into it, but she also writes it.
Yeah.
So she's really rotten. And so we learn that, so he kind of like had short-term memory loss after that first night getting hit. And apparently what happened was he went into the supermarket during this half price time and unknowingly like met this girl, they kind of like hung out after she bumped into him and like got attached to him. She is kind of like drawn to him for some reason, but after that certain night, she starts meeting up with him like throughout the days too, thinking that he would like remember her and like start being friends. But yeah, she's just a really wacky character because she also always, whenever she touches the guy, she always has to wipe her germs off, which we learn later that she was made fun of a lot and teased for having germs. And also, she calls him Saito instead of Sato.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's a really weird one.
Long story short,
yeah,
they joined the half price club.
Yep.
Which, you know, the ice cold witch.
Yeah.
She's the president. And she tells her like, "Hey, here's how things are. Like, do you guys still want to do it?" They're like, "Okay, you know what? Let's give it a shot." And you know, they start fighting.
Yeah.
You know, during the discount time on the convenience stores.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you might think this is a pretty basic plot. And it is.
It is. Yes. Oh, it is.
So it's like, is there a lot to talk about? No, not really. Like, is there anything philosophical about it? Of course not.
Not at all.
Like people fighting for food.
For food.
Like,
yeah. Why? Because they're hungry.
Yeah.
There may be actually just a little bit of honor, but that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so silly. What happens is they're in the club now, and they're basically told a little bit more by Yari Zui. She's the ice cold witch. She has a very cold personality. At first, that's why I thought she was called the ice cold witch. Yeah. Since she has that type of like cold demeanor all the time, but it's for another reason entirely. But yeah, she like tells them what to look out for, and we also get introduced to the high school president, Shira Ume, and boy, she's a character. She has a thing for let's see here, Oshiroi, and man, she's wacky because whenever she goes into proximity with Sato, she basically just hits him all the time. She's like, "Oh, is it okay if I hit you because I'm angry?" And he's like, "Oh," she already slapped him.
She's the type of person who hits before asking questions.
That's right.
You're like, it's act before asking. No, hits. She hits.
That's right. Hit before asking. Oh boy, it's crazy.
Yeah, you know, you have all your standard tropes from your standard garbage anime.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? You have your high school boys and girls with strange quirks.
Yep.
Your standard supporting characters.
Oh, yes.
Like those guys that are jealous that Sato gets pretty much abused.
Right.
Or like beaten to a pulp. They're like, "Oh, you're so lucky." It's like, man, like this anime.
Yeah, and stepped on over it. Right. Oh my god.
Yeah, because this student council president, like, she has nothing to do with the actual plot. She is just there to hit Sato because, you know, she has a Yuri thing with Oshirio.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
And Oshirio is there because she's writing her boys' love story, which she actually happens to have quite quite a lot of fans.
Yes. Yeah, I was really surprised about that.
And she's around because she's like, oh, Sato, you're doing this. And she's like having nosebleeds. And
right. And she walks in with the other girls in like a compromising position with Sato. And she's like, oh, this would be such great material if they were all guys. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So yeah.
Super, super standard tropes and the whole shebang.
Yeah. So like if you're gonna watch this anime, it's gonna be mainly for, I guess, for the fights. It's like,
yeah,
really, there's not a lot to it because like, yeah, you don't have to think a lot. This is one of those animes where you just turn off your brains, enjoy the fan service, and enjoy watching people beating each other up for a lunchbox.
That's right. Yep.
Because during the first 4 episodes or so, it's where we get introduced to him, the club.
Yeah.
He is acquainted also with another club, like the judo club.
Yeah.
And they just, do this kind of fight where it's a fight with in a group.
Yeah.
Where they just, create like a defensive barriers. They grab their bentos and then they turn around and then they cannot be attacked because they have a bento.
Yeah.
And so the other people can grab the bento and, kind of like a really low cheap way of, cheap way of, getting your food.
Yeah, because it steals away that competitiveness of, like one-on-one or, well, actually one against all type of mentality where you have to lay it all on the line to get the food. I think that part was pretty great in just establishing kind of like the honor that goes along with the fight.
I guess it's like this type of unspoken rules of hey, no, like if you want a bento, you gotta beat the crap out of someone.
Yeah,
fair and square.
That's right. I thought that was pretty great
because they were like, it tastes better. You're like, well, you know what? Maybe you're a little numb or something. That's why your senses, like the rest of your senses, are all numb. So the sense of taste is actually increased. That's why it tastes better, maybe.
No. Oh gosh, yeah. Oh, I bet. Oh, that's funny. Wow.
But yeah, he's like, you know what? It's the honor of the dogs.
Yeah.
Or the wolves, fighting for their food. Yeah. We're also introduced to a few kind of like legendary characters.
Yep, like the wizard.
The wizard, which kind of like used to be like the former boss.
Yeah.
Before the Ice Cold Witch.
That's right. Yeah. And I think that was pretty great. That was a pretty great part because we get introduced to a few other named wolves. But yeah, the wizard, we kind of see him go up against Boar. And she's like a middle-aged lady who thinks, it's a great idea to bully her way during the time that the goddess discount is actually putting the stickers on. She, and this part I want to mention because it's kind of interesting how it shows...
I thought that part was super funny because I don't know if you've gone to Walmart. They have like a set of trays that it's discounted like bakery products.
Yes. Yeah.
Because like, okay, you know what? Those products from Walmart are there. They're cheaper. I love those. Like they're really good, and they're just like they're half off sometimes or sometimes less.
Right.
And the audacity of some people that they would just grab like a normal tray of muffins and they would go to the Walmart teller like, hey, put a discount code. It's like, dude, no.
I see what you mean. Right. You grabbed it before the sticker was on. The audacity. That's funny. Yeah, I would never dream of doing that. That's weird. But yeah,
though I can somehow see it happening on Walmart.
You got me there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Walmart is a real life anime sometimes.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh dude, yeah. Black Friday there.
The things you see in Walmart is like, man, I thought I would only see it on anime.
Yeah, right.
This is a way better live action adaptation than what the Netflix does.
Oh my god!
Yeah, just like go to Walmart at night. You'll see a lot of anime characters there.
Nice. Oh, that's pretty great. Anime just scratches the surface of the real world. Truth is stranger than fiction sometimes. So yeah, the Boar. Nice.
You're still thinking about Walmart?
Yeah. I went there a couple weeks ago. Well, for this particular part, the Boar, she does that low plan of taking the bentos right in the guy's face and then like shoving her cart at him and saying like, hurry, like get those stickers on and I'm gonna get them for half price. But it's like going against the whole code and etiquette of the wolves and the whole half price battling.
That's why they call her the Boar.
The Boar, yeah. She's a pig, yeah.
Yeah.
Underhanded tactics. And so that it goes against everything that they fight for. It's like there's no fight if you do that. And so the wizard.
Which at the same time, can you imagine like hitting a middle-aged lady for a bento box?
Oh, yes.
Which the wizard actually does.
Oh, yes. Seriously, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's like
just imagine how good are those bentos that you're like, you just see a middle-aged lady and you're like,
totally jacked up. Yeah. Oh, it's so silly. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Craziness ensues. Sato, he tries to go against her, but yeah, the wizard, he goes in. But also the redhead girl, she's always around with the other two guys. She's pretty funny because you never see her eyes, except for one part.
At the very end, yeah.
Yeah, the last episode. But I thought that was hilarious that her character is built from like never seeing her eyes. And that's just like the way the anime, all the angles and all the like the frames showed her. She always has like
and also you have the monk because
the monk
he's shaven,
he's bald and he even has like some of the
kind of like the dots for the monk. Like
and then goatee, he just has like a slight goatee. So funny.
But at this point, Sato is slowly becoming a wolf. Like he's still a dog. But,
that's right. Yeah.
Getting really close to episode 6, we have kind of like the middle season boss fight where in another district of, were they in Tokyo?
Actually, I'm not sure.
I don't remember, but on the east district of where the city where they lived at, there was another dude, which I thought it was super interesting because at the end of the episodes, from like episode 2 or 3 up until episode 5, they just start these series of dudes kind of like having a lot of technological stuff, kind of like a bunch of screens and tablets with stats on all the people. It's like, like, is that what you're eating? Like half price bentos because you can't really afford all that equipment?
Oh yeah, and it's like seriously, they have all this high tech stuff to track anybody who is anybody in this scene and. It's like over the top. I mean, it's over the top. Man.
We said it last episode. Anime doesn't have to make sense, and it's like
that's right.
Okay, you have a lot of money. Why are you going for like 300, 200 yen bentos.
Bento, right?
You can afford real food.
Gosh. Seriously. And it's so silly. Oh my gosh. Because they keep talking about like, oh, so and so is like over here and what's the scoop on this supermarket? And it's like they're doing all this stuff to figure out how they're gonna take down the turf of the other place. Oh,
Yeah. So this guy, has like
oh my god,
was like an underground group.
Yeah.
Where
Yep.
Where he has just a bunch of people fighting people, but
yeah.
I mean, kind of like underhanded tactics where he wants to kind of like rule over all the convenience stores.
Yeah.
Or at the time of the half price sales.
Yep.
And this dude, his name is the Monarch, and by this time we're also introduced to Sato's cousin.
Oh yes, in a really.
She even has her own opening.
Oh, she does. Yeah, I really liked that opening. It was really nice.
But yeah, she goes to another
really
school.
Great. Yep.
And she is also a wolf.
That's right. Yeah.
Her nickname is the Lady of the Lake.
The Lady of the Lake. Yeah. And boy, she is quite the character. Even though she is Sato's cousin, man, she like puts him on edge like no other. Like they have the most chemistry, I guess you could say, throughout the anime. Oh, it's so wacky. She is from this other part of the city, but she gets involved with Sato and the Half Pricers Club. She kind of gets involved with them, kind of like not really supporting them, but kind of like she warns them that they're being targeted. She also gives them a little bit of information about who the Monarch is. But yeah, this guy, he has a one-track mind to get the supermarket and like to beat everybody else. Which
is kind of weird.
It makes no sense. Yeah. So the Half Price Club, they kind of know that they're being watched and that they're kind of like in danger, but they still try to come up with a plan to keep their turf. So the Ice Cold Witch, she goes out, but then some of the others also follow her.
They ambush her, not at the store,
not at the supermarket. Yeah, so they're using really underhanded tactics.
Yeah, because like everything happens in a way that when the Monarch is introduced, he beats the crap out of Sato.
Yep.
Kind of like to send a message.
Yep.
Then he isolates himself for 3 days to fast, just so that he would be hungry.
Then,
on the third day, there was going to be this sale of really good bentos, and the witch goes there. The witch is ambushed, but she still goes there.
Yep.
And this dude just wanted. The dude was there for the fight.
Oh yes.
The dude was not there for the food, which
Right.
Everyone else was there for the food, not for the fight. The fight was just like a funny, bright product in order for you to make you hungrier and enjoy your bento, and because it would numb your senses.
Right.
And so
they're crazy.
And so Sato kind of like recovers a little bit and helps the witch.
Yep.
The witch is also helped by the Lady of the Lake, and they beat down the Monarch.
Yes.
And everything actually originated from a battle between the wizard and the butterfly monarch, which were the previous leaders of each side of the district.
Yep.
And
so we see the previous monarch butterfly, and she's now the god of discounts in this particular supermarket. And they really go all out with this because she knows what's going on. After the battle, where Sato's totally wrecked, he gets helped by her, which is a pretty silly situation. But they do ultimately take down the current monarch. But man, they really do blow this out, and it's really out there. Oh my god!
Yeah, after that moment, Sato gets his own title.
Yep.
Which is the pervert.
The pervert, yeah.
And it's because one of the members from the Monarch just started spreading his title out of spite, I guess.
And
it was because, also Sato didn't have a lot of choice, because he would do some dubious things, like when he was about to be searched at his cousin's school, and for some reason one of the guards wanted to do something with the battery and him. And so he got stripped, and his cousin just gave him some girl's clothes, and he just went to the store there and like, are you a pervert? Like, I'm not a pervert. Like, there's a really good reason.
Yeah.
And even usually the senpai is like, Sato, I didn't know you were into that. Like, to each their own, I guess.
She's like, I support you.
But
oh my gosh.
But yeah, he's now the pervert, and right after that, kind of like middle, we have a few filler episodes.
We get the pool episode and the hospital episode. Oh, the pool episode. Oh my gosh.
The omelette.
Oh my gosh. So this particular bento battle, it's in this pool. They have the bentos kind of like in kind of like containers that are pretty big, and they put it out to float in the pool, in the middle of the pool, and the bentos have kind of unique shapes to them.
We're not gonna show that because
it's a little more farther than PG, quite a bit more. Oh my gosh, the pool episode, it's wacky.
Yeah. Oh,
it's so wacky.
Okay, so right after this pool episode, man.
Yeah, we have another character from Shaga's high school. She is from the game club. Her name is Asabe.
Oh, she's my favorite character.
She is so unlucky. She can rub off her unluckiness to anybody else, and it's still really, really bad luck. And oh my gosh, the funniest,
the bad luck that not even the gods can withstand.
The gods can. Yep, that's right. The talismans, they even
corrode.
They corrode away. Oh my gosh, this is the silliest thing ever. So one of the funniest parts was when she was trying to get something from the vending machines, but she was like all by herself. But then when they go over,
there are a lot of them
swamped by the.
And you're like, oh, free college. She just opened like.
Yep. She is so.
I like the episode where she's under a tree.
And
one of those kind of like caterpillars or something. She's like, they tickle, and then like
they all
tickle, like man.
Oh, so funny.
Yeah, like she was good, like that. She was my favorite. I was like, oh, she's so cute.
Yeah, she's so funny.
But yeah, she's the comedy relief.
Yep.
But so yeah, then we have some sort of kind of like a break because while Shaga, the lady of the lake, Sato's cousin, and Yusuri were playing video games. Yusuri was she was losing, and she was like, "Hey Sato, like, how much is this?" Oh, it's like 4,000 yen or so. I was like, okay, and she throws the gun out the way, and he's like, no.
He's like, my Saturn. He does grab it, but he falls.
Yeah, he's like in a third or fifth floor.
Fifth floors. Yeah,
and then he's taken to the hospital. Like he's holding on something. He doesn't want to let go.
Oh, that's pretty great.
So that's put Sato out of commission for a couple of episodes.
Yep. And boy, this gets weird with the twins.
Yeah, because once he gets cured,
I guess
he's going back again to the game, but this time there's kind of like a new name without a face. Going at the supermarkets that there are people covered with baskets on their heads, and
after the fight, nobody can remember what happened or who it was, other than it's like a Greek mythology.
Orthoros.
That's right.
That's a two-headed dog from the Greek mythology.
That's right. And nobody can remember like who this is other than that name. And so that's like the next thing, the next person or like individual, quote unquote, that is pretty much beating up everyone. But man, that episode was really, really strange. Because when he's in the hospital bed, the twins, they come over, but they think it's Zui. And so one of the girls is infatuated with her, but it's actually Sato. But man, they put him on the spot because they're like doing all sorts of wacky stuff to him. And boy, it's weird.
Amazing. He's a teenage boy. An anime character, teenage boy, so it's even more dangerous.
That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh. Barely gets out of there alive. And he also solidifies his nickname by
chasing after them. And the bandages were slowly being, like they got stuck somewhere and he started to lose bandages.
All of it. Oh my gosh. It's so crazy. So yeah, he just lives up to his nickname, with everything he does. So crazy.
But oh boy, actually, so like when it is revealed who those two teens were.
Oh yes.
It's like they are two twins that are really good at fighting, but I didn't quite like the story of kind of like their origins.
Okay.
Because you're like, we have this big fight, and they even beat the ice cold witch, and everyone is like, "What the heck? She lost!" And and they were all kind of like high and mighty, saying like, "Oh, aren't you frustrated? Like, come at me, bro, come at me!"
Right.
And I was like, "Ah, man, these girls are like so arrogant, and like I don't like them."
And they do the desuwa. Where they have the arrogant speech pattern. Yep.
And then like really close to the ending, because that happens between kind of like episode kind of like end of 10, 11 and 12. and they're like, "Oh, I want to be we want to be these respectful wolves," and they're like, "Wait, are we respectful wolves? Because we'll be talking trash about everyone."
True. Yeah, they kind of like they do have this sort of disconnect from like who the type of people or wolves they want to be and the way they act. And I think it also is interesting the interplay that they had between themselves. They weren't exactly like sure of like who they were, and or like all the way into uh or like not really all the way knowing what they kind of want out of these battles. But yeah, it gets revealed that they always aspired to be wolves ever since they were little kids.
Yeah, like before elementary school.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Is that kind of like what you picked up on, that part being weird?
I mean, that too.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it was.
But the other reason is like they were rich girls.
Oh yes. Okay, yes, that's right. Yeah, I kind of saw it as them getting a kick out of this like underground
Fight club,
nighttime fight club. Yeah, but they were rich girls. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Yeah, a little bit odd with their personalities.
right? But yeah, I mean, so they're strong, but
Yeah, oh yes.
we get a little bit of their background and how they were rich girls, but they were they were to these to these fight clubs in a part of the district, and somehow they disappeared for a few years, and then they resurfaced on this district where Sato was.
Yeah.
Which ultimately they beat the crap out of him, and they beat the crap out of pretty much everyone.
Yes.
Because they were just so strong. Which, granted, like if you're fighting one person, two people, and those two people have you know baskets, is like
they were pretty.
There's advantage there.
Yeah.
It's like also the only reason why the Monarch was beaten was because he was 3-on-1. So
yep.
So that's a bit of an unfair game there, even though it's a battle royale. It's like, okay, let's team up.
True.
But so that's not the point. The point is like
yes,
they are kind of like the new boss to beat.
Yeah.
Which then is like, oh, it isn't.
Right.
That was the part that kind of like threw me out of the loop a little bit, because like, wait, you just showed me these 2 episodes already of them beating the crap out of everyone, like indiscriminately, just to get the food, and up to the point where people don't remember them. And now you want to tell me that they are the victims?
Right, yeah. That was a little bit of a monkey wrench in the plot. Yeah.
They're like,
it's true.
I'm not gonna feel bad for them. And like, on the contrary, I actually feel happy. Like, okay,
right. They should get knocked down a peg or two. Yeah, I guess that would turn out that way. Because they were very snobbish, and they had a very rich girl attitude.
He's like, I mean, you would think that after what happened to them before, that would have helped them to, I don't know, not be so arrogant.
All right.
Yet
they come back still, same level of arrogance as always. That's true.
So close to the final episodes. Yusuru the Askel, which she's down with a cold.
Yep.
So after she's beaten, she cannot really recover.
Yeah.
And Sato is taking care of her, but there's this huge eel bento, and eel is pretty expensive. So
oh yes, and it's Hokkaido ingredients. So it's really, really desirable. Everybody wants it, and so Yari Sui basically tells him, yeah, you're gonna go get it, and she has to stay behind though, because she's sick, and she stays sick for a couple days because apparently after taking a shower she leaves like the windows open
and then the air conditioning.
She leaves the air conditioning on and then goes to sleep without turning it off, and so she stays sick for quite a while. So the Half Pricers Club, they go without her, but it turns out that the guy who like kind of made the twins victims was this high and mighty guy nicknamed the Club of Hercules. So it's this idea that Hercules, he had a club and he bit this two-headed dog with it because the dog was taking away the cattle. And so this guy has this nickname because he beat them beforehand. And that's why they were out of the scene for years.
Yeah, because it was like, oh, you guys are too good. You always take the Bentos. So, you know what? If you want the freaking Bentos, just take it. Just take it.
Yeah.
Get the heck away. Which, you know, at the same time, it's like, well, like, was there only 2 Bentos the whole time that they were there? Or like, what do you have to do that? Because like, oh yeah, just take your Bentos and get the heck away, just so that we can fight it. Like, wait, when they were fighting, did they just beat the crap out of everyone and grab 2 Bentos and the rest of the Bentos stay there and everyone else was everyone else was just so beaten down that they couldn't even, stand up and grab a Bento or like, what's the problem here?
What is seriously, I'm guessing it's literally just him being a total jerk. But it is pretty dumb.
Right? Because like, I mean, like, I don't think there were only 2 Bentos.
Right. Yeah.
And so he's trying to do the same thing.
Exactly.
Again, kind of like telling him, oh no, you're too strong and that's unfair. So grab your Bentos, get the heck away, just so that we can start a fight.
Yeah.
And so he tries to talk Saito into, not fighting them.
Yeah.
And, they kind of thought that they had a thing with Saito. And by a thing, I mean, kind of like a rivalry of fighting.
Yeah,
which I don't know also what made them think that when they were, talking down on everyone.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh no, there are people who wants to fight us.
Yeah.
Even though we treat them like crap.
Right. Yeah.
And so everyone is like backing up.
Yeah. Everybody, they just stay behind. They stay back. Even the other Half Pricer club members. So everyone is like either cowed or like going along with them. But the twins they're just kind of put off, kind of dejected maybe, but they grab their Bentos and they start to leave. And we see Sato, he comes in, but he's like, like really spent, or he seems to be really like almost out of breath. And the guy, he's like, "Hey, you're here now. It's good to see you. Yeah, the permit's here, and you're gonna fight with us when they're gone," type of thing. And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, like we're still staying behind," and so the twins, they're like walking away.
They're about to grab their Bentos and call it a day.
And then out comes, I want to say the God of Discount comes out again with the Laurel sticker. We haven't really mentioned this.
Yeah.
So the laurel sticker, it's for one particular bento that the got a discount thinks is like the best among all the ones that are left.
Yeah.
And it's just so silly because the thing is with this laurel sticker is that it's the coveted bento, whichever one the got a discounts puts it on. It's like the one everybody wants.
Yeah, because it's like the actual winner of the battle. Yeah. and yeah, just like everyone is like, hey, Saito, are like you're gonna fire them? It's like, oh no, even the pervert is like it's backing us. And the Club of Hercules is like, yeah, my evil plan.
Yeah,
it's working.
Yeah,
yeah, sure, buddy. And Saito's like, the stomach of Saito like starts making sound, and it's like,
yeah,
this inspirational speech, which totally unnecessary on this type of genre of anime. Yeah, like, no, we're here for the food, and we're gonna fight.
Yeah, because we're
who's
hungry.
with me?
Yeah,
kind of like when Braveheart is like, wait, wait.
Stomach rumbling.
And so the fight ensues.
Yeah, everybody's stomachs rumble, and they're like,
yeah, kind of like a chain reaction, like
6 or.
I was hungry. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Monkey brain just go crazy.
Yeah, monkey sees, monkey does.
That's right. So they just disregard everything and they just go all in. Everybody. And it's a great battle. It's really intense. It's really fun. The twins, they see this because like for some reason they were gonna get the laurel sticker bento because they were like still there and they would still grab it before the fight started, but the fight started anyway. So now they're like, oh, let's jump back in.
Yeah, even the Club of Hercules, like, oh,
yeah, even
my
like,
evil perfect plan. Like, what's happening here?
Over. So I'm just gonna fight everyone. So yeah, the total chaos ensues. They beat each other up. The twins beat them up. Sato beats him up. Like everybody beats him up, and then everybody fights each other. And yeah, I mean, they still. I think they still win, but it was a fun battle.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't win. The twins, they didn't win. So it cut after that. Like next scene, it's the girl that always like show her chest and part of her face. They show her face.
And they finally show her face.
She won. Yeah. She actually won one of the dishes.
She does.
Shaga, the lady lake, she also won one of the dishes. This girl that I was really clingy to, Sato.
Yes.
Bushido. For some reason, she always won a freaking bento. She's like,
and she always ducks and leaves between everyone. She never fights anybody ever.
No,
she's one of the best. and also for anybody out there still on the fence, deciding whether to watch this anime, she is voiced by Aoi Yuki. So there you go.
Really?
Yeah. It surprised me. For any fans out there.
But yeah, like and the twins that didn't win, they ended up buying a rice ball and some noodles.
That's right.
And kind of like they were taught a little humility.
Yeah.
Which sounds weird. Like
you're
either gonna be humble.
Yeah.
Or humble.
That's right. Yeah, so they do lose.
We can teach you with persuasion and logic.
Persuasion and logic. Oh, yes. Love it.
Because then they were to like, hey, now you see you're not super powerful. Now you can aim to beat someone, which is a really weird thing to say.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, where's Sato? And you're like, oh, he had something to do. And so he's at Senpai's house and he's like, hey, I won the the Laurel one,
and the
one and only.
Yep. And she's like, "Oh, you're gonna share with me, right? Because you own me." So funny. Yeah. It's a very fun ending scene, and it all wraps up pretty nicely.
I mean, yeah, that's it. Because right after that, again, he's like, "Oh, let's fight again," and you see all the characters.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
next day, basically, and they're all like getting ready.
So yeah, this is like, from my point of view, this would be like, like a 6 out of 10 anime.
Oh yes,
because it's like,
it's the type where you turn on.
It's really mid
flow with
just
go with the flow.
Turn your brain off. Like, there's really nothing complicated about it. Really simple plot. Just beat everyone.
That's right.
To get
the bento. Yeah. And there's not even anything like there's no like real lesson of like
no, please don't do it. Please don't do it on real life.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, please don't fight for food in the supermarket. No.
Yeah, if someone
it's just pure.
If someone grabs your discounted donuts at Walmart, don't fight them.
Right. Unless it's Black Friday.
Unless it's Black Friday. Yeah, if it's Black Friday, oh man, buckle up.
Who does grocery shopping? Well, I mean, I don't know.
You never know, man. Maybe the bananas are gonna be
they are
4x1 on Black Friday. So
right, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, this one is just all out for fun. It's not even like with the power of friendship or anything like that. No, this is just pure, just get in there, throw some.
Yeah, this is like
just have fun with it. Yeah.
The hungrier you are, the more violent you become.
That's right. Yep. So yeah, the end of the anime is the got a discount, setting it up again. We see a shot of all of them, and then they walk through the doors, and the door closes, and bam, everybody swarms in. Yeah, it's a really out there. I would say it's pretty unique. It's one of the weirder ones I've seen. Granted, not like the weirdest ones out there, but definitely up there, because I
mean, we have some standards to uphold, Brian.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
We've seen crap.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Not all of it we're gonna cover.
Yeah. That's right. So yeah, pretty fun. Sus angles.
Right.
Pretty
wacky. Or even the intermissions.
Oh yes, the intermissions.
Bento and
you see the
girls on the bentos. Like,
right. And you're
I want to eat that. The food, right? The food, right?
Right.
Right.
Oh yeah, the Anakin Padme meme. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Or you're like, what food?
No, that might be worse. Oh gosh. Yeah, so it's a fun one. Well, I'm glad we got to cover it.
I mean, we always end up with like, that was a great anime. Yeah. No, this is not a great anime.
Yeah.
But yeah, just watch it with like,
yeah.
Turn your standards in anime down, like,
yes,
like way below ground.
Oh yes.
Turn your brain off and just watch people beat the crap of each other.
That's right.
Just to get some cheaper food.
That's right.
That's it. Oh boy, it's gonna be really fun trying to come up with an interesting title for this one.
Oh yes.
Hopefully I did good.
Oh yes, thankfully.
But yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, we set the bar pretty low, so move way up from yours. Well, up.
We can go lower, Brian.
Oh man, I'd be a little scared too.
We'll see it next week.
Yeah, next week.
All right, yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Keep watching anime.
That's right. No matter how far down the rabbit hole you go.
Over. Yeah. See you next time. Matane.
Done it.